Hello and welcome to round one of my mock draft. This is Kurt Allen. I am going to go through a typical first round of a 12-team NFL mock draft for 2015. This is for a league with a quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, tight end, kicker, and a team defense. So for all the RB0 advocates out there, and I happen to be one in a lot of drafts because I was because I was towards the end of round one. Did get heavily front loaded with running backs. I've been in 5 drafts so far, and it's pretty much a consensus on the first 5. So we're gonna get going here. The first 4, all running backs, pretty interchangeable. I've seen a couple where a rogue wide receiver, made his way into the top 5, or Andrew Luck. But the first pick we have here is Le'Veon Bell, and this is for a non-PPR league. I should add that. If there is a PPR, then Le'Veon Bell for sure. I'm not worried about the 2-game suspension. You can always draft D'Angelo Williams later, then that should tide you through the first 2 weeks. Over 2,200 yards from scrimmage last year, over 80 catches, 800 yards receiving. So I'm not a PPR fan, but if you can get 1,300 yards from scrimmage and then add a number of yards from receiving, that'll put you to the top. I wouldn't worry too much about touchdowns. It's one thing I saw nitpicked about them is they only scored 11 times last year. But if out of the 14 games he plays, he gets 10 or 11, that'd be fine. So I can have Le'Veon 1. My second, Adrian Peterson, and that's it's a bit of an X factor there. You don't know for sure what you're going to get from AD. You don't know if basically a year away is going to be good or bad. But he passes the eyeball test for me, and I like him at number 2. Number 3, Jamaal Charles. What I don't like about Jamaal is I think Knile Davis. If you draft Jamaal, I don't believe in handcuffs, but I would definitely go Knile Davis later in the draft. I think they're going to limit Jamaal's carries a little bit this year, but we have seen in the past what a monster he can be, and there's absolutely no passing game in Kansas City. You could almost, I could flip a coin between Peterson and Charles for number 2. My 4th pick is going to be Eddie Lacy, and Eddie's got me worried a little bit early in camp. He's come up with a little bit of a foot issue. The other thing, you're not going to see a huge 30 carry game out of Lacy. It's going to be 15, 18. He's going to be on more of a pitch count than the other top running backs. When Green Bay leads some games late, you're going to be seeing some James Starks in there. If you like to handcuff Starks, I think you could do that late. There'd be a bit of a drop-off, though, at the running back position if Lacy was to go down. My number 5 pick, and in the 5 drafts I've been in, it's very close between the top 4. I've seen Lacy pick. I've seen all 4 of them pick number 1. I've seen Le'Veon Bell drop to 4 or 5 even. They're all about even. Consensusly, Marshawn Lynch I've seen 5. I've seen him 6-1. I even seen him slip to 8 in another. But you know what? At number 5, Marshawn Lynch is fine. That's a perfect pick for that point. So there's the first 5 picks are running backs: Bell, Peterson, Charles, Lacey, and Lynch. Now you're at 6. Do you start thinking about the RB0 strategy? Do you start thinking about the wide receivers, or Gronkowski, or Andrew Luck? For here, at least, C.J. Anderson is climbing up the charts fast, especially after Arian Foster went down. Talk out of Denver, they were going to be very run heavy this year. It's going to be less out of Peyton Manning in the passing offense. So I've got C.J. Anderson number 6. Number 7, now we hit to the wide receivers, and with all the talent out there, and the Odell Beckhams and Dez Bryants and others who are not too far behind, Antonio Brown has been a consensus first wide receiver selected that I've seen, going anywhere from 6 to 8. That's a good pick there. So it's not like Calvin Johnson earlier in the decade. He's not head and shoulders above the wide receiver field, but he is a number 1. It's not pretty much consensus number 1, whereas running backs are a toss-up between the top 4. I like Brown as the first wide receiver. Number 8, opinions vary on when to pick the first quarterback. I'm in one where it's gone to the 16th pick, and Andrew Luck has not been selected, but the other ones, I've seen him go 6, 7, anywhere between number 7 and number 10. I was 10 in a 10-team league, and because I had seen Luck go earlier in previous drafts, I jumped on him. So you have less risk at the quarterback position. You're seeing Luck's got the weapons, and he's entering the prime of his career. I do not see him disappointing as a late first rounder this year. If you like Aaron Rodgers, about number 20 overall, he should still be available. So it's position scarcity at quarterback this year. It's Luck, Rodgers, and it's pretty steep cliff down to number 3. So that's why I like Luck up that high. Number 9, here I go with Gronkowski. I kept on getting the end of the first round, 12 of 12 picks, 10 of 10 picks, and I wound up with Gronkowski in 3 of 5 leagues so far, and I saw Yahoo Sports talk him down a bit. They said too much partying. The worst thing in the offseason was Kentucky Derby and then Pacquiao fight doubleheader. He comes into the season healthy, and I drafted him assuming that Tom Brady would be suspended 4 games. I don't think Garoppolo is going to be much of a drop off, and the Patriots are going to be so much in piss off mode. And again, position scarcity, even more so at tight end. You got Gronk and then Jimmy Graham, and then it's a long ways off after that. So for the same reason, I have like Gronk as my number 9. Number 10, here is where Arian Foster was going, and if I had done this a fortnight ago, I would have said stay away from Arian Foster. I did not like Arian Foster, did not like his injury history, the tread on his tires, and he couldn't even make it through the first practice. So drafting going forward, we don't have to worry about Arian Foster. Forte, you worry about, there are others. I see a lot of LaShawn McCoy or DeMarco Murray. LaShawn McCoy I put in there. I think DeMarco Murray, that's going to be much more of a timeshare. in Philadelphia, so I'm kind of worried about that. Jeremy Hill, I'm seeing a lot of late first round, early second round. He's been a popular pick, but Forte is worried that he's not going to see the numbers in the passing game that he has seen in the past, and it might be a train wreck of a season in Chicago. But I do have Forte slipping into the first round with the Arian Foster injury. And number 11, there's LeSean McCoy. Buffalo, you worry about the offensive line, but you know they're going to run, and he's going to be the man. So, LeSean McCoy there. If you don't like him, go with Jeremy Hill. And then finally, and this is it, I've been doing a lot of RB0, and here I have Dez Bryant. You can make a case for Demaryius Thomas. Personally, I like Odell Beckham better than that. He's my number 2 receiver, and you'll see him if you're at 15 or 16. There's a good chance you're going to see Odell Beckham slip down to that point, and I absolutely love Beckham at 15 or 16. So others in consideration, Calvin Johnson's kind of fallen off. He's going to be late teen. You may see him go late into the second round. And same with Aaron Rodgers. I have not been in a draft where Aaron Rodgers has been overdrafted there. But anyways, there is my first round, Le'Veon Bell, Adrian Peterson, Jamal Charles, Eddie Lacy, Marshawn Lynch, C.J. Anderson, Antonio Brown, Andrew Luck, Gronkowski, Forte, McCoy, and Dez Bryant. You know, high maintenance. If you like Demaryius Thomas or if you like Odell Beckham, go right ahead with that. But I have him at the end of the first round. So there you go. Good luck to everyone. I'm going to be doing more of these as the season approaches, more fantasy football features, along with, as the year progresses, my looks at DFS contest for each week of the season. So we'll talk to you later.